Hell is Maze anyways?
Get that stuff out of here! It's Southwest Bias!
Welcome into another edition of Southwest Bias, brought to you by our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. And we are live from Studio K, brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading the Circle K app for free. Sometimes in life, it's more important to be somewhere you're comfortable and somewhere that feels like home than it is to chase clout. My daughter's sick right now, and when you work in a business like this, it's very difficult to take time away because you host a show, you host multiple shows, and that's difficult because you want to be there for your family. You care about those things, and you realize as you get older that those things are just as important as anything that you're going to accomplish in your career. And sure, people come and go in terms of careers, jobs come and go, but sometimes being loyal is the best thing. And this weekend, it sure seemed like Kenny Dillingham felt like being in a place that he's loved and that he loves is a hell of a lot more important to him than trying to chase a job at a big program that may be fleeting just so you can get a little bit more clout and get a little bit more on your resume. And I appreciate that about him. And he took some crap for what I'm going to show you here in a second. And it really bothered me because being truly emotional, caring, and being willing to show that and be vulnerable is an important thing in a leader. And if you don't believe that, you don't understand leadership. And so when Kenny Dillingham said this, it meant a hell of a lot.
Why stay loyal to ASU? I mean, I love this place. Like I said, my is that a long enough pause? But this place is just, it's a special place to me.
That silence spoke volumes. It shows you how damn much Tempe means to him. And he talked earlier about, that the Michigan job's one of the best in the country, yada, yada, yada. All the pleasantries you say when you're politely saying, go screw yourself. And reports came out this weekend that ASU and Kenny's representatives are working on a contract extension. That's the way you play this game, man. Use it as a little leverage, get yourself a little bit more security, build something in a place that means something to you. Because it means a hell of a lot more to build something in a place that doesn't necessarily have the history, to build something that is truly your own. And Kenny Dillingham, over the last 3 years, has laid that foundation, has shown what it means to care about a program and to take it from nothing. And let's be honest, ASU football, at least for the last decade, has been nothing, and take it to something. He had a shot at going back to the Big 12 championship game into the final week, even though that they had injuries galore, and he was playing with a guy that had not really gotten an opportunity in, 5 years as a college quarterback, and essentially was a glorified running back when he was out there. Kenny Dillingham is special, and he's trying to make ASU special as well. And it's going to be difficult in this world of NIL. And sure, guess what? The path would be easier to attain that if you go to Michigan. But you know what? The path is a lot shorter for you to try to make it successful before you get fired as well. Kenny can build this program in the image that he has in his head here at ASU. Kenny can build something special. Kenny can become like Lute Olson was down the freeway. The guy that built a legacy in one city if he wants. A guy that can turn, quote unquote, a sleeping giant into a program that's thoroughly respected. He can recruit like nobody's business. That guy goes into your living room, you're going to want to wear maroon and gold. I'm saying that as a Wildcat, and you look at Kenny and you see that and you know that he is something special. But the problem here is, will the university and will the donors support it? Because NIL, as Kenny's talked about multiple times, has changed everything. And that's where all this is going to get complicated. Kenny is saying no to the Michigan flirting right now. Could it change? Maybe. I don't think so based on what we've seen. Never say never. But when you look at it, you think, okay, that would be the easier path because Michigan can bring in money by the boatload. But how will ASU do that? And if Kenny does stay, which it appears so, and he signs this contract extension, how will they figure out the NIL portion of this? How will they support Kenny and show him the belief that he's showing this university? It'll be the university and the rich alumni's duty to then go and support him the way that he's supporting them, to show the belief in him that he's showing in them. Because Kenny Dillingham could easily leave and go to Ann Arbor and could likely have success there. It would be a lot easier to get 5-star recruits to go to the big house than go to Sun Devil Stadium.
Mountain America Stadium.
Mountain America Stadium, but it'll always be Sun Devil Stadium in my heart.
Not because Mountain America's our sponsor.
Wait, they're a sponsor. Yeah, never mind. Mountain America Stadium. But, hey, yo, it would be so easy to go do that. But guess what? Michigan is playing in the same, in the same world that now all these other schools have to play in. And NIL is actually going to balance this out if other schools figure out how to bring in the money. And I know Michigan's fans want to sit here and say, oh, nobody will turn us down. We're Michigan. Didn't the Alabama coach just do it? Sure seems like Kenny Dillingham's going to do it. Why would anybody right now want to go into that mess? And it's not Michigan's fault, obviously, but why would you want to be
kind
that
of is.
guy?
Well, internally, it is. There's
Internally.
a reason why they're doing an investigation into their department still.
True. That portion. What happened after, obviously not the school's fault.
It's not their fans' fault.
No, it's not the fans' fault either. But the reality is whatever coach goes in there is going to have to deal with that baggage too. Kenny's got it good here. Kenny's got a fan base that loves him, has got an AD that supports him wholeheartedly. Kenny Dillingham will wind up turning this program into something special. And I applaud him for being willing to be emotional, for being willing to say, you know what? My family being here, the fact that my kids' best friends here, the fact that everything I know and love is here is more important to me than chasing clout. We don't have enough of this in this world. The almighty dollar is where so many people go and chase it because, oh, well, that's big and flashy, and I'm going to go do that because it's nice. But guess what? Sometimes that's like a 2-year road when the place you're at could have been the lifelong thing that you did and get everything you dream of. Sometimes other things have to be more important. And Ricky Burt has a super chat. I'm guessing this is a Michigan fan. You really think that was him turning it down? LOL. Do you know Kenny Dillingham? Have you interacted with Kenny Dillingham? That's his passion. That's his love for ASU. That's him showing that he cares. It's just who he is, especially the joke after, right? You Michigan fans can sit in here and believe what you want, but I think you're going to be highly disappointed because it ain't as big of a deal to be Michigan as it used to be. Just ain't. Kenny Dillingham is unique. Kenny Dillingham is special. Kenny Dillingham has a chance to do something that nobody else has done in the Valley. Michigan can be disappointed. Kenny Dillingham can do something special here in Arizona that he'd never be able to do at Michigan, because the credit would go to the fact that it's Michigan, not the fact that it's Kenny Dillingham. If he wins here, if he makes it back to the college football playoff, if he winds up surprising everybody and winning there, everybody's going to give Kenny Dillingham the credit. The program, the family, being comfortable, all means something to Kenny Dillingham. And as a father and as somebody that's helping try to build something here, I completely connect with it. And I appreciate that he's emotional. And I appreciate that he's willing to do that publicly. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, you were out there. What did you read of Kenny, his jovialness and his willingness to show some emotion?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that knows Kenny knows he's an emotional guy. He wears his heart, as I said on the Sun Oval show, he wears his heart on his face. You know how he's feeling all the time. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that when he started getting emotional, I didn't think about what that could mean in the opposite direction. But then it's like I said over the weekend. When Kenny tells you something, you take it for what it is. Like he's never told a lie. He tells players to just leave if he knows they're not going to get playing time. So when he says that he's committed to this place, you have a 99% idea that he's staying here. But that 1% that he could leave takes over your brain because what you have here is so special with him. What I heard on Saturday was, I love this place. That the Michigan has not contacted me personally.
Which is a easy way of saying they may have talked with my agent, but I have plausible deniability on that for sure.
That Michigan would be a great opportunity for somebody.
Yes.
And I see people misquoting it. I saw William put it in the chat. He did not say someone else. He said someone.
Yeah. So
he didn't necessarily turn it down 100%. Look, I'm not dumb. He hasn't turned down the job, and nor should he. Until and it's not an extension, until the contract renegotiation is what it is solved. He should never turn down the job.
But that's good business, right? Yeah. That's called leverage. Everybody uses that.
That being said, he said exactly what everyone was thinking. Michigan is a great opportunity, but it doesn't change the fact that my life is here and I love being here and this place means so much to me.
Yeah.
Kenny is also a smart guy and knows that if he's not getting the support that he needs to turn this into a winner like he has always wanted it to do, he will leave. Could I see him leaving next year? Could I see him leaving the year after? If he doesn't get support, 100%. But 2 weeks ago after the West Virginia game, he quote said, "I was never leaving." And it wasn't just because of how he was feeling in the moment. It was because he got confirmation that they were willing to put real money behind this football program. Kenny Dillingham is the athletic department at Arizona State University. Kenny Dillingham has changed the culture of not just the program, but the entire department. There's a reason why we're seeing winners in other places. Sure, the coaches are fantastic. Kenny has helped get those coaches here by changing the identity of what this program is. So sure, is the statement that he said the same thing as Kalen DeBoer putting out an official statement saying he's committed to Alabama? No. Is it concerning? Also no.
I think so many people operate in the everybody's Lane Kiffin. Everybody's willing to shank something that's going well for them to get something that they feel is slightly better. But guess what? That's not everybody in the world. And I think that's this misconception. Kenny Dillingham is not that kind of guy. Now, if he leaves, if in that 1% chance, like you talked about, out of the 100, if he leaves, it's probably because he feels like he won't get that support. There's something that he feels isn't going to be on that other side. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, well, you know what? Michigan. A lot of people in the chat, oh, there's more Michigan fans than ASU fans. No shit. Okay? Of course there's more Michigan fans than ASU fans. It doesn't change the fact that a man feels an emotional connection to a place and wants to be here. Right? That's if Ohio State offered a Michigan man the job, some would argue Ohio State's the better job. Would you really go if you had that, if you had that emotional tie to Michigan? Sure as hell would hope not. There's plenty of Lane Kiffins in the world. There's not as many Kenny Dillinghams. And that's what I like about Kenny, is that raw vulnerability and a willingness to zig when everybody else zags, to look at it and go, you know what, a couple extra million or the chance at, to be in the Big Ten with Michigan isn't as important to me as those other things. It's what matters to me. And that's why I'm actually impressed with what Kenny did on Saturday. So, Ricky with another super chat. You want to read that one, Shane? I
already covered this. He said he could do what DeBoer did, but he didn't. Yeah, DeBoer put out a statement saying that he was committed to Alabama. That's because DeBoer is not going through a complete restructuring and needs leverage. He's also playing in a college football playoff game. Of course he's putting that out.
Yeah.
Sure, DeBoer is going through another contract thing right now, but the leverage is the game. We know what all the reports are saying about Alabama. We know that the idea that he's even in this race is because people think that they're not fully backing him, especially if he loses this game against Oklahoma. But why would you say anything else when you're getting ready for a game to get to the college football playoff semifinal?
I love William. Michigan fans moving away from Michigan is a flex. Your fans in AZ don't even like your own state enough to live there. I mean, that's true. So,
Okay, and this is the last thing I'm going to bring up about another thing that I've heard about Michigan is that Kenny would be making a ton more money. No, he wouldn't. Kenny Dillingham was making, I think, $2 million more than Moore was making by the time. And sure, he could offer him something higher than what Kenny is making. Look at his contract, guys. I don't know if you understand how perfect this guy's contract is at Arizona right now. Last year, he got a contract when they were in the college football playoff to extend him every year. They go over 500, and he also will make $200,000 every year they go over 500. And he also has so many incentives for winning Big 12 championship. The incentives total up to what could be one of the highest paying contracts in college football. Now, what I will say that people aren't mentioning enough of is the NIL. That makes more sense. Bring that up, Michigan fans. Bring up the NIL thing. Don't bring up about Kenny making money.
Agreed. And I think in the future, that would be why Kenny leaves, because the NIL money does not come in again, and they don't show the faith in him like he's showing in this university, in this town. I could see that in the future. I just don't see it right now. I do not see that it is enough to tilt the scales in his favor. Feedback says, Wildcat here. Kenny belongs in Tempe. Even your rivals like him and don't want him to jump. That says everything you need to know when people in Tucson are even saying, you know what, Kenny Dillingham is a good man, and Tempe deserves him in a good way, not in a, oh yeah, keep Bobby Hurley kind of way. So we've gone a little over time on this. We've got plenty to discuss from the weekend. Maybe we'll get a little bit more into Kenny as well on the other side of this break. Got to tell you about Mountain America Credit Union. If you are looking for a place to put your money, and who isn't? We all need a checking account. Mountain America Credit Union has got you covered with the My Style checking account. Make My Style your lifestyle. No, not a hoodie and a hat. I mean the My Style checking account, because guess what? You're going to get unbelievable perks just for signing up. Telehealth access. We all need that. I got a sick kid at home, and telehealth access helps so much. Mobile phone protection. We've all almost broken our phone. I've dropped this thing a million times. Why not get it protected? Also, why not get great deals on restaurants and vacations? But the best part, loan rate discounts, because we're all trying to get a new home, get a car, build the business of our dreams. Loan rate discounts will help you there. So visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration and activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. got to tell you about Circle K as well. I didn't get to stop there today. You know that makes me cranky, which means that's why this episode is a little bit more fiery than usual, because I'm a member of the Inner Circle, and when I stop at Circle K, they take care of me, whether it's for gas, food, drink. You get a discount on all of it. And the best part, when you sign up, you get 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Then 3 cents off per gallon after that. And then you're going to hit the mustache behind the Mac level. And you're going to be cool. But you're also going to get 5 cents off per gallon. That's not all, though. 79-cent Polar Pops. You always need a drink. You can get one there. Plus 99-cent Frosters. Great meal deals. It's everything that you could want from a free membership. So why not sign up today? Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply like everything in life. At participating locations, visit circlek.com for details. I want to bring up one thing William says here in the chat. He says, if NIL is the biggest reason for Kenny leaving, he goes against his whole recruiting philosophy about finding players that want to be there, not just for money. Doesn't make sense for him to do that. I think that's a fair point as well. Now, I think the changing landscape of college football is going to make it more and more difficult to find guys that just want to be there without a financial incentive as well. But I certainly think that when you look at it, he is loyal, and he does look for guys that are loyal as well. And I think that will be a big part of it for him staying in the Valley. I'm going to shift gears here to a head coach that probably isn't on the same kind of safe ground as Kenny Dillingham is, and certainly isn't wanted like he is as well, at least not in that sense of being wanted. He might be wanted for robbery based on how much money he's taken for the Cardinals and the lack of results that have come with it. The Arizona Cardinals have now lost 4 games, or lost 4 games where they've given up 40 points or more. It's the first time they've done that ever. Let that sink in. How much bad football we've seen. A defensive head coach that supposedly has a great defensive coordinator. We've gotten on the offense and given them a damn colonoscopy about everything offensively. And we've given the defense kind of a free pass, and it's turning out that they're one of the worst in Cardinals history as well. What worries me the most, though, is we're sitting here, and Gannon, thanks to Teo Mackey from AZ Central, who had this, was asked about the play calling, the defensive play calling, if it was good enough, and he gave the answer, yeah, I do. And when he was asked, does he think it's good enough? It's not all, though. Gannon went back to the same well when he was asked about offensive play calling as well, and I don't get it. I understand that not everything is for public consumption, but at some point, don't you have to say this isn't good enough? This is bad football. This is just seriously difficult to watch for the fans and probably difficult to coach. I don't care if you say in part because of all the injuries. I mean, hell, Johnny Venerable's starting at running back next week, and I'm getting a tryout at wide receiver. That's how bad things are for the Cardinals in terms of injury. So if you want to stand in front of that and use that as an excuse, at least that's better than no, there isn't a problem. That's I'm at my wit's end when it comes to Jonathan Gannon. Was it 9 straight losses for this team? This is just abysmal. We've seen some of the worst performances we've ever seen in Arizona. And I know there's a handful of, we're splitting hairs when we start to go, well, this team was slightly, no, guess what? It's all bad. And when you put the expectations in, it's awful. Jonathan Gannon's seat should be hotter than the metal bleachers at Sun Devil Stadium back in the day when the Cardinals would play a September game and we'd all burn our asses. I've still got marks from being a kid out there in 110-degree heat on a metal bleacher at Sun Devil, and Gannon's seat should be hotter than that right now. If it's not, there's something fundamentally wrong with what's going on with the Arizona Cardinals, and looking at that and trying to figure it out. Major changes need to be made. And I'm not sure they're going to. We're slowly inching towards the end of the season. We can see January 2nd on the horizon and the end being near. And then Black Monday will come. And who in the world will be left standing? We're going to find out. Aaron Wilson, a man of my own ilk, says, young me cried in those bleachers often. Yes, both because of the heat and the shitty football we watched. Oops, language, sorry. I saw Hello say that earlier. Good things happened this weekend, though, on a smaller scale. Baseball. The Diamondbacks did something. They finally did something. They signed Merrill Kelly to a 2-year deal, bringing him back at about $20 million per year. And you know what? Mike Hazen is now got a warrant out for his arrest because there was robbery when it comes to what he did to the Texas Rangers. Here's Merrill Kelly for a handful of starts for you that he's not going to do as well. We're going to take 3 of your better pitching prospects. Oh, and we're going to get Merrill back in return. Mike Hazen, kudos to you. Understanding the situation where you were at the deadline and yet finding a way to bring Merrill home. Also, another ASU guy that's loyal to the Valley. Look at that. It happens on multiple occasions.
Former Desert Mountain Wolf, too.
Ooh. Good for Desert Mountain and the Wolves. You bring in, I know that's your school, Shane. I didn't need you to raise your hand and go, me. But look, I love this. I love this deal. He's going to be able to be your number 1 until Corbin Burns comes back. Then he'll slot into your number 2. This helps your pitching staff, does not hamstring you for the long run. Merrill Kelly, a.k.a. Chris Elliott, back in the fold. If you don't know who Chris Elliott is, go Google search it and then look at Merrill Kelly next to him. And then watch some of Chris Elliott's stuff from his Letterman days. Funny as hell. He lived under the bleachers as part of a sketch there with the great David Letterman. Shane, do you have an advent calendar? Do you got something?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's do that before we get out of here. Let's open an advent calendar so all of our Michigan fans and the bias today can enjoy something. Hit that like in there. Become a subscriber today as well, part of our supporters club member, or become a diehard at gophnx.com. But hit that like before you head out, even if you're a Michigan fan. What's our advent calendar today?
Yeah, so sometimes it's a game, sometimes it's a picture, sometimes it's just something I saw on the internet, and that's what this one is. So,
ooh, internet. Let's go.
Go touch them. Go touch them.
I don't want to.
Do you want mommy to?
No. That's scary. Can you touch him?
Do you want me to?
No.
It's okay.
Christmas. Bah, humbug. I'm as cunning as a cat. I'm as
Charles.
as an eel.
At first, I was freaked out because I'm like, oh my God, the kid moved and now she's changed minds. And then I realized, oh, it's twins.
I love the complete contradiction between that. Can you touch them?
I mean, that's siblings, right?
Yeah.
That's siblings, not just twins. That's siblings in general. My sister and I could not be more polar opposite at times, especially when we were young. I'm not sure that I'd go into full growling mode.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That was, I mean, yeah,
Very
the
impressive.
Grinch ain't going anywhere near the family when you got that. I mean, who needs a dog at home to guard the home when you got a kid that's willing to go feral like that to protect you guys? I love that. That is fun, Shane. Thank you for sharing that. Also, is the Grinch not like the creepiest kids thing? I know the moral's good, but like, what? I mean, that's terrifying for a young kid. I remember showing it to my daughter for the first time when she was little, and it was like, nope, don't want to watch that. I'm good. The cartoon version, not even the Jim Carrey, even scarier one. But you know what? I enjoy the Grinch now as I'm older because some people actually compare me to him. That's another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. A big thank you to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. You can follow him at Shane Dief, where he's going to give you all the hot takes when it comes to Kenny and the Sun Devils. You can follow the program at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Espone. Remember, loyalty and staying home, sometimes better than chasing that money from Big Blue. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.